Alright, so what I've got for you today is apparently one of the lowest high-level matches that has recently been played at the professional level of StarCraft 2. Apparently, this is one of those games where we can judge both of the players and pretend that we would have done a better job ourselves in their scenario. So let's get started by introducing them, because spawning here in the top right-hand corner of Pillars of Gold and playing with the red Terran SCVs, we have Bunny. His opponent in the opposite corner with the blue Zerg drones, he goes by the name of DRG. Apparently this game, it doesn't really go the way that both of these players had planned in the first place. Now DRG, of course, an old school StarCraft 2 professional. I actually just had a quick little look. He won his very first premier event back in 2011 against, get this, against Fruit Dealer in the Grand Finals. Now there might be a couple of you that remember the name Fruit Dealer. He won the very first GSO Codes back in 2010. If you actually look back at the archives, like you can find. Sadly, I can't cast those replays. I would love to. They sadly don't work anymore. I don't think they're actually around either. But if you look back at the archives of the very first GSO Codesses, you can just see what the skill level was like back in the earlier days of StarCraft. I'm pretty certain that if you're like the average Diamond League, player right now, you could probably win the very first GSL Codes. Like, the skill level was that low compared to where it's at right now. Not to like trash talk anyone in Diamond League, by the way, okay? I can already imagine some angry comments, but seriously though. People would literally just sit back the whole game long, and then they would clash once with their armies after 20 minutes, and that was the game. That was literally the game. It wasn't particularly exciting. DRG, though, after completing his military service, by the way, he used to go under the name of Dongray Gu, so if DRG doesn't ring a bell, maybe Dongray Gu does. Anyways, after completing his military service, he, of course, came back to StarCraft 2, and he's been showing us that he still plays Mutalisk in literally every single matchup. Someone pointed this out in a comment section, or in the comment section a couple of weeks ago, that in pretty much every single DRG game that they've seen, he's been going Mutalisks. And I've been paying attention to it as well, and there's literally not been a single game where I haven't seen DRG go Mutas. So maybe today will be the day, but we're gonna find out together. Bunny, he's one of those players who's really good, so as of me making this video, he's currently the rank 20 in the world overall. By the way, it's not the Danish Bunny. There's apparently this is a popular nickname. There's a player from Denmark as well who plays under the same name, or played. I don't think he plays anymore. But Bunny is from South Korea. He's a very high-level Terran player. He can beat anyone on a good day, but he hasn't quite, made a name for himself just yet. So he made a couple of round of 16s in the GSO Codes in 2020. So maybe 2021 is gonna look a little bit better for him. He's already looked really solid recently, but yeah, definitely one of those. We need a good term for this. He's like the player that that Cure used to be once upon a time, Like, Cure was one of those guys that could beat anyone, and then all of a sudden, everything clicked in his head, and he became one of the best. Do I have my sound on? I do. For some reason, I couldn't hear it properly. Anyway, so let us see what ends up going down in this particular game, because so far, things are looking pretty good. Apparently, chaos, though, is about to ensue. So far, this game is looking very, very standard. It's a quick 3-hatch opener right here from DRG, means that his Zergling speed is going to be ever so slightly later. But I mean, there's nothing too crazy coming up. If Bunny decides to go straight across the map with the first 2 Hellions, yeah, he could maybe get some damage done. Basically, if you delay the Zergling speed and you go for the faster third base, yes, you can get the third base up before the Reaper can arrive. However, your link speed is not going to be done by the time that the first 2 Hellions arrive. The thing is, it's the first 2 Hellions. Brenda and Karen are already on the job. Right, they're gonna be able to easily get some work done, and even a bunch of slow Zerglings got like 80% of the damage done right there on that 1 Hellion. So it's really not a really big deal. Now, so far this is looking like, well, a game from 2011, I suppose, right? Like, this is the type of StarCraft that's been played for over a decade. Just the classical 1-1-1. Zerg decided to go for a quick third base, so he's gonna be the defensive player here for a little while. It's going to be the cloaking field upgrade here as well for the Banshees. So Hellion Banshee here from the Terran. Nothing too crazy. I guess the big difference compared to 2011 is that these days people make a lot of extra queens, right? Back in the earlier days of StarCraft, everyone's like, well, I mean, I can spread creep, but why would I? What's creep going to do for me? And then over time, people realize, wait a second, if I just cover the whole map with this, purplish, grayish stuff, I can just actually see everything that's going on. Pretty powerful way of starting. Now, interesting. DRG decides to go for a Roach Warren opener here. There's already a Lark coming up, so yeah, I don't think he's really gonna play an all-in or anything along those lines. Most of the time these days, whenever we see a Roach Warren opening, it's because you're afraid of like a Hellbat push. The problem is, like, if you go Roach Ravager, you can't really die to a lot of things. It's just that you also can't do very much with them. So you can hit some timing attacks with, for example, +1/+1 and Roach Speed, right? That's a classical Zerg timing attack. The thing is, at this level, no one's really gonna die to that, and then you're stuck on Roach Ravager. So I have a love-hate relationship with Roach Ravager. I always recommend newer players in StarCraft 2 that like to play Zerg. You know, I recommend for them to go ahead and play Roach Ravager every single game, because it's, you know, it's just a stable unit composition, but I guess it's a... Oh. Well, the 2 Banshees are getting some work done. Okay. I guess it's a unit composition that can... one Queen ends up going down here for basically free. Oh my god. Really? No. Okay. This is, Why is that Spore all the way over there? Please, no, just move it a little further forward. You have another one over here. Anyways, what I'm trying to say, Roach Ravager good sometimes. Not all the time, though. Doesn't have the same ceiling as, Man, why is that Spore over there? If you go for a 4th Spore, make it a little... Alright. There we go. Now it's finally getting into a position. That's 6 drones going down. Kind of unnecessarily. Anyhow, what was I saying? Right, Roach Ravager, it's got a low skill ceiling, but also, like, a low skill floor, if that makes any sense. So, like, it's very easy to play, compared to, for example, Ling Bane, but you can't get that much done with it either. Anyway, I'll stop the analogy now, but hopefully that makes some sense. So one thing you can do, though, is get 1/1 going here. So he's going missile upgrades. That indicates to me he wants to stick with Roach Ravager for quite some time. But yeah, with Roach Ravager, you shouldn't really take a whole lot of damage in the early game, and already we saw 6 drones going down. That's not really too much, but we'll see. Alright, so I like this, keeping the Banshees alive. Something that you don't see nearly as enough on the ladder. Always good to see these 2 ladies being able to go back in for a little bit more in just a second. Couple Marines here on the right side of the map. Looks like we're gonna be moving with 2 different armies around. Oh, actually the Overlord is gonna be picked off first, but it looks like the Banshees, together with the Hellions and that Reaper, they're gonna be moving in from the left. And then I think the Marines are gonna be moving in from the right. So this is a classic 1-2 punch that we have been seeing Terran players do for a long, long time. So right here, the Hellions will be spotted on the minimap, and here's the Marines. Hello. Oh my god. Hello. That response time was so slow, dude. DRG is sleeping on the job. This is actually dealing so much more damage than I anticipated. Oh my god, okay. So I think this is the very first part of what you guys were talking about when you recommended this game to me, huh? 20 drones going down? Like, this is the entire point of opening up Roach Ravager, that you're not gonna take any damage. Now, one thing you can do is just keep making Roaches and Ravagers here and just go for a big, big push. I guess that's like an all-in now, though. Yeah, so Roach Speed is gonna... It started up a little bit late as well, but it's gonna finish here shortly as the Roaches march across. He's just making more Roaches and Zerglings right now, so... Apparently, DRG is basically giving up on this game right now. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and make a lot of stuff. The thing is, the Banshees are still up in the air. There's a bunch of siege tanks in the back as well. Is DRG gonna be able to break through this? Okay, so Roach Speed is done right now. All of a sudden, these Roaches found additional legs. They can crawl a little bit faster on the ground. And this is actually a scary push. This is the +1/+1 Roach Speed timing attack that I've been recommending for such a long time. Look at DRG executing it here. Apparently, it's still his bread and butter. He actually kills a tremendous amount of SCVs. And while I don't think he's gonna win with this push, mostly just because there's still siege tanks coming up and the Banshees are picking off units very quickly. All of a sudden, actually, Bunny got absolutely smacked back. Alright. So wait, hold up. 20 SCVs, or 29 SCVs rather, and 20 drones going down in the first 9 minutes of the game. 2 Marines here, still getting some additional worker kills. Not bad at all. Oh my god, they got another one. Alright, Chaos. Actually, no, it's 20 SCVs and then 32 drones that ended up going down. I misread that. Okay. Brenda once again on the job. Oof, they tried their very best to get that Banshee down as well, but it's not quite gonna happen. Alright. So all of a sudden, we have now been knocked back to a lower game economy so far. Now here's the problem with sticking around on Roach Ravager, and I quite like the Spire. By the way, like I said, right, DRG. Always gotta go mute us, man. Whenever you can, he will go mute us. The problem is with Roach Ravager, if you're going to sit around a Roach Ravager past the mid-game, at some point once Terran players max out, they're just going to absolutely trash you, especially as upgrades continue to be researched. DRG is not getting the +2/+2 just yet. Instead, he's saving up. Look at this. 1,500 gas already. He's going to be able to produce like, yep, there we go. 15 mutas all at once. So this is his little piggy bank that's being broken right now. He's been saving up. Like a good boy. Not for Lego or whatever you save up for. I used to save up for Lego back in the day, but I don't know, man. What do people save up for these days? I'm not entirely sure. Probably phones or something. Kind of boring. Nah, I hope people don't save up for phones. Like kids, that is. Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, that's a lot of mutas that are coming out right now. Problem is, mutas are not very good against Marines, so... that fourth base is gonna get picked off very, very easily. That being said, there's no real defense yet at home. These mutas are going to be able to dart around. There's a missile turret at the third base. A couple Marines as well, but there's nothing inside of the main. Roaches and Ravagers push back the army over here, but there's still some Marines and Marauders here too. But these mutas... Oh, there's a missile turret on the edge apparently, but that was for drops, I think. The mutas are not... This is... Like someone said this was the lowest high-level match they had seen recently. This is absolute chaos here so far. Considering this is such a standard opener from both players, other than maybe the Mutalisks. Oh my god. The siege tanks! Oh no, if you... Oh my god. If you kill the siege tanks, the mutas... the Roaches and Ravagers are going to be able to go in very easily once again. Oh yeah. That's 7 siege tanks going down so far. Actually insane. 33 SCVs as well. 4th command center is done. DRG, though, still does have the economical advantage, decides to restart the 4th base once again. This is like a viewer-submitted game now, except both players are like 6.8k MMR or something like that. I like it. Okay. Now, Roach Ravager, it's good at holding the line, right? Yeah, it's very difficult to actually get something done. 4th command center is going to be killed, and obviously the advantage of mutas is that they can come home as well. So, I would... Hello. Guys! You're needed at home, dude. There's siege tanks to kill. Alright, there they come. The flippy flappies are making their way back. Apparently, there's one Banshee over here that's trying to get some work done as well. That one actually has 13 kills. But now it's being attacked by a Mutalisk, and I don't think it's going to live for much longer. But yeah, this is where Roach Ravager is fantastic, right? You can just keep this army pinned back for such a long time as long as you dart out of siege tank range and as long as you stay on creep. Once the Terran gets a little bit overly ambitious, the mutas can go in from the back and start sniping the siege tanks. Beautiful moves right here by DRG. Kills the 4th base of his opponent, keeps his own 4th base alive, and is now gonna be able to... Wait, hold up. I gotta get my Google Translate app. Oddly enough, my Google Translate constantly keeps switching, but he says something about pinging. So I'm assuming maybe his ping was a little bit higher, something, I'm not sure. Either way, since this should be played on a Korean server, right? Since both players are from Korea, I don't think, you know, maybe it's like some personal internet issues or something like that, or maybe Battle.net was doing Battle.net things. Regardless, this is a lot of damage that's being done here, and I don't think that fight would have gone any better with better ping, to be honest. Alright, so DRG right now in a dominating lead, right? Despite the fact that he has lost a lot of stuff here throughout the game, he is in control. Now, the one thing that he doesn't have is upgrades. I don't really like his upgrade situation very much. So +3 infantry weapons is coming up. +2/+2 is done already. I wasn't sure if it was +2/+1 and then straight into +3, but nope. Bunny is looking pretty stable when it comes to that, but he doesn't have... Like, he doesn't have a 4th base anymore, right? So that makes whatever he does right now basically an all-in. He can start moving out again, but his best bet is probably cowering in fear behind the supply depots and just hoping his opponent decides to move into sieged-up tanks. Alright, so that means that the mutas are going to continue roaming here. Ooh, careful, careful, careful. That's exactly the reason why mutas are not my preferred weapon of choice. Mutas are real good if you're fast. Speaking of DRG being fast. Like, DRG was like Raynor back in... Like, Raynor is very quick these days, by far considered to be the fastest Zerg player, but, like, DRG has been like, he's been inventing the Mutaling Bane styles, basically, okay? Back in, like, 2011. Now, I know that Mutaling was a thing as well in the... in StarCraft 1, but... It's very unforgiving. Now, Yeah, this is not a very... Oh, okay, he walks in his own biles. That's a little unfortunate. This is not an easy position to push into, but it's kind of what you need to get done here if you're the Roach Ravager player. The problem is if you max out, you're just not going to get any better, right? And the Terran army will keep improving here going forward as well. He's actually transitioning right now to +1 melee and Ling Bane. So he's actually going away entirely here from the Roach Ravager style into Mutaling Bane. So took a bit of a long route. I really wonder if he could have just gone for the Roach Warren here, or the Baling Nest instead of the Roach Warren earlier, but I guess he really was concerned about, I don't know, some sort of timing attack. Yeah, I guess the Roach... Yeah, actually, you know what? The Roach Speed +1/+1 push worked quite well. Anyhow, +3 here is finishing up. So +3 has already finished up for the weapons of those Marines. And Bunny has secured now the 4th base. This is nice, because his army is looking real strong. He's getting himself the Drilling Claws upgrade as well. And while he was playing like the Siege Tank army here earlier, I like the idea right now of switching on over towards Widow Mines instead. So apparently all the roads lead to Mutiling Bane and all the roads lead towards, you know, Marine Marauder with Widow Mine support. And Medevacs, I suppose. Here's the 5th command center. Although it's actually the cheeky old main base. Couple of Widow Mines inside of a plane. These are Widow Mines with a mission, but they do get spotted. One cheeky little Zergling over here. So they don't quite get towards the mineral line that they were undoubtedly heading to. This is not a bad position, man. Those corrosive biles have been on point. It's a lot of Ravagers, though. So DRG right now is replacing all of the lost units with Ling Bane instead. I like it. It's just that they're not very well upgraded, right? So you really need to start up some more upgrades there. Starts up the +2 flyer upgrade, so he's going to be sticking around. Well, actually, he already started that up a little while ago, but he's going to be sticking around here for a while. All mutas. At this point, though, he's got enough mutas to start taking down these missile turrets. Yep, these missile turrets, I mean, you can try to repair them. Nah, don't even bother. Okay. At the same time, this push over here is commencing, so that's the reason why I wasn't busy repairing. This is a scary amount of Marine Marauder Thor. So the Thors obviously are here to make sure that this... Oh, the mutas can't just come in and pick everything off. Could pull a couple of good Baneling hits, though. Not bad at all. 4th command center once again gets picked off. So that means that Bunny right now is mining with 3 bases. Still, there's a hatchery that also got picked off over here. Although Zerg obviously can replace those quite easily. Bunny right now confirms indeed that there is another base. Widow Mine. Not gonna connect this time around. Okay. Here's another group of Marines running across the map. These Banelings are... Oh my god, why are you morphing them over there? I don't... yeah, okay. Let's see. This is a scary push though from Bunny. I love the fact as well that he's not engaging very quickly, although a scan would not be a luxury here. Like, the reason usually why you want to fight this rather slowly, there you go, is so you can get rid of the tumors and then eventually you can continue onwards. At the same time, though, there's going to be the Zergling run by over here, killing a couple more SCVs, since this is the old orbital, the very first orbital. The OG orbital, as they call it. There's a lot of missile turrets here, by the way. This man does not want to get muted. Oh, actually, speaking of mutas, they were taking some big volleys right there, but that looks like indeed this position once again will be broken. Okay, nice. Zerglings, though, got a whole bunch of damage done. Well, yeah, actually, it's only 3 SCVs there in total. They must have killed some more, though. I mean, they were doing... Oh, don't bow your own units. They were doing something. Alrighty. APMs are getting insane. Look at this. He's at 600 APM on average. That's 10 buttons a second. On average, throughout this game. We're 19 minutes into it. This man is replacing keyboards twice a week. I've never actually heard of a keyboard wearing out. Not in modern times, anyway. But you'd imagine these guys are going through keyboards quite quickly, right? Like pens or something. Like pens run out of ink every single time, right? Nice control right there on the Widow memes. Bunny's got a lot of gas in the bank. He's been happily mining that for no apparent reason. Widow mines! Widow mines! Oh, good connection over there on the Banelings regardless. Good splits as well, though, here by Bunny, but it looks like there might just be a little bit too many mutas left over in these skies. Yeah, these mutas have been putting in so much work. Whenever you see a player playing mutas well, right, they seem so broken. However, as soon as you try mutas yourself, you just, you know, get trashed. Good connections right there as well with the Widow Mines. He flew away from those. At the same time, though, the Thor is being picked up here constantly. If the medevac falls, the Thor would die as well, but it looks like the medevac dropped it off right before it ended up getting picked off. Another medevac gets... Dude, this is an insane game. This is a slaughter fest. This is a bloodbath. What's another synonym for bloodbath? Hey Siri, what's a synonym for bloodbath? Come on, you can do this one thing for me once, right? Bloodshed? Bloodletting? Indiscriminate slaughter? Well, yeah, okay. That's... Indiscriminate slaughter is not so bad, I guess. It just sounds... so aggressive. I guess bloodbath is an aggressive word as well, huh? Poor Mutalisk over there. He was split off from the rest only to take a Widow Mine to the face. This time around, the Natural has floated on over. So Bunny is getting himself more eco. Like, this is the big advantage of these Terran structures, right? The fact that you can fly them. Not the planetary fortresses, but I mean, he's only had 3 command centers here. DRG once again retaking the expansion here for the 17th time. I actually don't think you want to retake it. Ooh. I really, like, yeah, there's about, what is it? I don't want to do the math, but there's like 2,000 resources remaining on this base, and obviously gas as well, so maybe it's worth making a hatchery there. I don't know what the alternative is, actually. Oh, the Mutas! Ooh, okay, never mind. I thought it was a misplay, but it's intended. Where else would you go? You would go top left, maybe? Or over here as a Zerg? Yeah, tricky. Those are technically the bases of the Terran, and then all of a sudden, you know, the rush distance from those locations is very, very short. Could be an advantage as well for Zerg, of course, but without creep spread, it's tough to pull off. Love the fact, actually, that he made so many missile turrets over here. I think if that wasn't the case, the Mutas would have come here a little while ago, just to say hello to those SCVs. Bunny actually adding on additional production here. Interesting. He's currently on 5 barracks. He's only been... Wait, has he been on 5 barracks this whole game? Oh, wow, he's been on 5 barracks. That's roughly 50 Marines per barracks. That is kind of crazy. Normally we see at least 8. So I thought maybe he was going up to 11. But no, not the case. Here's a Widow meme. Or Widow meme. These guys can do a lot of damage. So DRG was very far ahead earlier, but these little moves are nice. There you go. It's only a couple drones. I mean, wouldn't have mind seeing a couple more. Now the Mutas are gonna be able to clean all of this up, so not really worth. But Terran's happily mining more stuff. Okay. Zerg can't really, like, get a whole lot done, right? I guess you can try and do, like, a big Ling Bane run by over here. I don't think these couple of Banes, though, are gonna achieve too much. Martin the Marine might die, which is sad for Martin the Marine, but no one else really cares about him. Interestingly enough, Bunny actually ran out of gas, even though he had, like, a bank of thousands. Terran doesn't really use a whole lot of gas, but guess eventually he broke through it. Since this is not a planetary fortress, though, pushing into this location is a possibility, but I don't know if I like it. There's a lot of Widow Mines, although so far, they have gotten picked off quite nicely. Good splits here as well by Bunny, but here's the Zerg Swarm ready to move forward. The Thor over there in the back getting a lot of work done. A lot of SCVs, once again, will be killed here. This is DRG trying to see if it can deal the finishing blow, but I don't think it's happening, my man. Good control once again on that Thor, picking it up with the medevac just barely in time. Medevac over there somehow escaped there with its life. 15 SCVs end up going down at the exchange for pretty much the entire Zerg army. Widow Mines over here got a little bit of damage done, but I actually... Ooh, you know what? DRG doesn't have much anymore. No, I think he probably assumed he was further ahead than he was. He's probably been like, well, this is 3-base Terran. How much can they really have? But it's been a fresh 3rd base, my man. Even though it's technically the 4th and the 5th. Here we go. Bunny is moving forward right now. He set up that trap beautifully, and I love the fact that he actually fell back between all of those structures. Stimpack has been utilized in all of the units, and you know what? Yeah, I'm looking at this. There is not even remotely enough. And with that, the game is over. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you want to see more, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. Now, if you're watching this video on the day that it goes live or on the day after, I hope you have a great weekend. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I'll see you once again in the next one.